Hello, Wappinger. Yeah, here we are on the front porch of the administration building at Carnwath Farms. It's a very beautiful day, although a little chilly, and looks like we may be getting some frost this evening, next couple of nights, and I don't want to say the other word to jinx us, but it's going to be cold enough. So I hope everyone is staying warm in their homes and putting together maybe jigsaw puzzles or doing something to spend the time. It's been really 1 week now since we last chatted from the front porch here. And I want to first start off and say today throughout the town is what we call Thank You Thursday. This is a very nice initiative that Randy Ross, who's one of our most loyal supporters and also contributors in the town, started, ran it by me, and thought it was a great idea. And this is something that where all of our first responders, healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, or healthcare workers can go to stores. The list is growing. That are offering either free drinks, some free food, certainly takeout is available at those, and also discounts. The list of places is to be found on our website, on social media, the town's social media, and also I believe there are signs that will designate that. So please turn to our website, social media, to take a look at what's available. We've been spreading it by word of mouth, and you can do the same thing. And this will continue for some time, as far as we know. Much has happened, good and not so good, since we last chatted here. And I want to give you a little bit of an update on those occurrences. First, unrelated to COVID-19, we had a very violent storm go through the town, and also southern Dutchess County, especially Fishkill, East Fishkill, and the town of Wappinger were the most hard hit. Over 16,000 residents, customers, lost power throughout Dutchess County. We were one of the hardest hit with approximately 3,000 customers that lost power. We worked with myself, the highway superintendent, very closely with Central Hudson, and they moved fairly quickly, largely with their crews, but also with some other help, outside help, mutual aid, they call it, to come in and clear the trees and put up the wires. Mike Sheehan, our highway superintendent, dealt with more than 20 trees, large trees that went down throughout the town. So a shout out to the highway department and also to Central Hudson for their very quick responsiveness to the town of Wappinger's needs. Also, as far as the second point, this is where the Thank You Thursday and other events are so important. Now over 22 million people have filed for unemployment. This is actually an all-time high, and compared to other past disasters, calamities, and going on 14% of the population is suffering from unemployment. Since March 14th, there have been a number of town and village initiatives to try to bring aid. We're going to need a lot more help, a lot more volunteer work in the weeks again, because unfortunately does not look like those numbers are going to decline anytime soon. With respect to COVID-19, and I want to emphasize this is a most contagious virus. As people, medical researchers learn more about this is probably one of the most contaminating viruses that we have known in a long time. Far worse than SARS, far worse than even the Spanish influenza. The deaths, unfortunately, continue to rise, throughout the state, throughout the country. New York City has seen some flattening. The social distancing has been working. Here in the town and county, We see some slowing, but yet, we have not yet reached, the peak. We are lagging behind New York City and Westchester County because we actually, got a later start, than they did. When I look at the numbers, this is through through the day before yesterday. Yesterday's numbers are not yet confirmed and published, but through the day before, we have since last week. My comparison is since last week we've seen the confirmed number of cases, the number of confirmed virus cases, increase a little bit over 20%. We've seen a growth of 331, again, largely because of testing is determining that. The number of active cases has increased 29%. So it's still out there and it's still growing, to 392 cases. Some good news is that hospitalizations are down. The number of people being hospitalized in the county is down to 90 from 108. So the efforts to do social distancing, wearing masks are working. Also, the number of recovered is now at 198. This is 72 more than last week's 126 at this time. Deaths, unfortunately, have risen by 50%. We are now, as of actually Tuesday's numbers that were posted yesterday, at 18 deaths, throughout the county. That's an increase, significant increase over the previous time. Tests have increased by 46%. They're still nowhere near what they could be, should be, I think. And that's, I think the governor or the county executive are continuing to work on that. Last but not least, most important to us, Wappinger has seen a 23% increase since my taping last week. There are now, as of, again, the report that lagged a day, and we'll see what the results are today, at 140 confirmed cases throughout the town. In other aspects of this challenging period of time, as you're all aware, you've seen the news that there have been over the past week new requirements, new mandates by the governor with respect to what we're supposed to do. We've seen protective barriers need to be installed in stores, places that cater the public. For example, if you go to the post office, as I did yesterday, they have plastic barriers. And the other thing that came out yesterday is that all of us are now required to wear masks when we're out in the public. The social distancing, proper hygiene, which is washing, sanitizing, not touching the face, cleaning surfaces, is still, very necessary to help put this disease, back in its place and to try to keep us all healthy. Tuesdays, thanks to the Chamber of Commerce initiative, and actually really started in the village of Wappinger, is Takeout Tuesdays. But every day is a day for us to support our local restaurants and other businesses the best that we can do. The town staff, as another data point, we continue to meet regularly via video conferencing. Our system is really pretty well ironed out right now. And so we've been having successful communications amongst ourselves to ensure that government continues fully operational under these trying circumstances. Similarly, our town board met for the first time since we went into lockdown. They met last Monday on the 13th, and we will meet again on a regular schedule. Next one is on April the 27th. We'll start at 7 o'clock. We'll be available through the town website, that has always been, sending it out live. Also, our cable, stations will be we'll be broadcasting it. Thanks to Mike Miner and his team, we continue to be able to carry it live. Thanks to Tom Barr and Joe Cavaccini, we've been able to get all the other video conferencing hookup and computer capability. As some of you may have heard, listen to it. If you haven't, go on and watch it on channel 22, 25, 35, or our website. The board was trying to address a number of things. We had about a 2.5 hour meeting, that night, full participation by our board members, other elected officials, and also our consultants, were involved in that meeting. I started off with a COVID-19 report of what we were doing. We had a good overview of our financial condition, which at this point in time is very strong, very healthy, but also, we're monitoring it very closely. There will be updates at the board meetings going forward in watching, our costs, our expenses, which are being managed, very tightly. Our recreation department head, Jessica Fulton, provided an update, and also some trying to do some planning for when the time that the FAGA pandemic, lifts. Other basic resolutions were passed. Some, dealing with immediate needs to continue to maintain and repair our town buildings, properties, and this is a necessity, to continue with some of those expenses. Also, we had to replace our software that's crucial, to maintaining our building department's code enforcement permits and the whole, area that's going to require us to be able to open, fully for business when the fog lifts. We, in that regard, because of the success of broadcasting the board meeting and doing other audiovisual communications, our planning board and zoning board will be going back to an audiovisual program. Stay tuned on our website, for further news on that. We'll probably also broadcast that, post it on social media when we make that move. I would like to remind our town residents that our meetings are public, but they're very restricted from the ability to communicate real time. So what we've done is we have the means, if you send in your questions ahead of time, relating to the agenda, or if there's some other pressing need. We're not just restricting because we get issues that are of concern to residents during this time and they can't see it for themselves. Please send them in. Go to our town website and you'll be able to see the ability to communicate with us. Now we are, as I said, maintaining the very tight control over our expenses, and I want to assure you, though, that the basic core needs of the town, including our sewer, water, other infrastructure, are continuing to be addressed regularly. So please, stay healthy, follow all the rules that are out there, and I look forward to chatting with you next week to bring you up to date and to advise you of any other developments that are important for our town to be aware of. Thank you, and please stay safe and remain healthy. Have a good day.